Alright, so this is a little refresher course for the people I game with, like tips and tricks to maybe up your game a little bit. It's not, it's meant to be like a beginner thing, it's not meant to be a comprehensive. So, let's see, the first thing I would recommend is understanding well, first thing I'd recommend is remapping your keys, your Dodge key specifically. It's over here in your key bindings, and you go down here because normally by default, I believe it is tied in with jump and space, and I put mine on left alt, but you kind of want to split those. The other thing I would look at would be, let's see, where's it at? Not that one. Input. Oh yeah, these ones. Like some people like brace as a toggle. Some people like hold to crouch versus toggle to crouch, or hold to sprint versus toggle to sprint. It depends on what kind of FPS games that you grew up on, which one's is specific. I like turning on all these dodge options, like always dodge, and so that way you can pretty much dodge all the time. Combat is, especially close combat, is a little bit chaotic. The other thing I'd recommend kind of looking at is mods. I'm running more mods than I'm kind of comfortable with, at least today. Darktide mod framework doesn't count because you need that. Audio plugin is good if you want additional audio cues. Spidey sense is useful. I like it because I'm partially hard of hearing in my right ear. Probably a little bit in my left too, but mostly my right. So this helps with. It shows up like here. I'll show you. You see those little like things that show up around, like it's green, yellow, blue. Those are pointing in the directions. If you look at this, they're pointing in the directions of those mobs. Green is the mutant, blue is the sniper, I think, and orange is the bomber, maybe, or no, orange is the trapper. Maybe blue is the dog. I don't have all of them turned on. Like some of these guys, like these just regular guys, if you turn them all on, it gets stupid. So I wouldn't worry about it. You actually don't need all these mods to get good. Get good, scrub. Because I was running this shit for like over a year without using any mods. Sim picked up icon I like just because it makes them, as you can see, blue, red, yellow, green, so you can clearly see it instead of looking at this kind of pale colored packaging. The other part is understanding which stems you want for your spec. The spec I'm doing, which is kind of a like executioner, like heavy weapon kind of thing. Well, not heavy, but it's a most of my horde comes into close combat. I generally want blue with maybe red. Definitely not yellow because I'm not primary shooter. And then green for everybody is almost always situational. You typically want somebody with it, usually to stab other people, but maybe stab yourself, so you can get that healing and corruption. Let's see, what's another thing? Oh, the interface. It's kind of hard to do this, to show this without... oh, well, okay. On the bottom right, if you look at my ammo icon, it's yellow. As you blast through, let's just start killing fools. You'll start seeing it change colors. This is less than, see, it's orange now. This is less important for you. This is more important when you're looking at ammo pickups and you want to know how your party's doing. Look at them. Generally for a priority, you want to kind of find out at the beginning screen where you go into the mission and you press tab and you see their loadout and everything. If a vet or like the shooty Ogren are low ammo, they should probably take priority on ammo if there's a tie. But generally the guy who's red should get priority over the guy who's orange or yellow. but definitely over the guy who's white. If your shit's in the white or you're sitting at like 80%, yeah, you shouldn't be hogging all the ammo. Yeah, that's the other tip. Don't be an ammo hog. That's just, nobody likes that. It's a team game, so if you're trying to up your score by reducing everybody else's score by stealing the ammo, you're just gonna sink the ship. Don't sink the ship because you're not captain. Yeah, scoreboard is great and all that, but you know what's better? Winning and getting paid at the end. So yeah, win. Do well, but do win. This is a competitive game, like especially the scores and how well you do, and that's good because you want good players to do stuff. Yeah, you want good players to do stuff, but you don't want to sink the ship for your ego. If your ego is so large that can't work well on a team, you should play a different game. Go play something else. Go play something else. Nobody wants people in team games that can't do shit because their ego's too huge. Scoreboard is the big one everybody likes because it's the most awesome reward ever. It's bragging rights and EPing. That's what we're all here for. Special spawn announcer changes the spawn noises. This one is not really necessary. The ones in the game are pretty good. Like, I'm tempted on getting rid of this, but it's okay, I guess. I'd say none of these are really necessary. Numeric UI is kind of cool because it shows a lot more ammo, but it allows you to season like all your settings to taste, like percentages and maximum ammo, and see what's really like seeing the nitty gritty of what's going on for heavy duty things. And this one is kind of a cheat, because it's pretty inaccurate. I would probably turn search distance down to like 10, because I've found it's really weird when it goes through floors, because you'll be a floor up or 2 floors up, it'll be below you and it'll start going off, people freak the fuck out. Pop-up notification, huh? I'll look at that later. This one's kind of good for finding books and grimoires, but it's not necessary. It kind of feels a little dirty. I'm tempted on getting rid of it just because it's not very, I don't know, sporting, I guess. The other thing is to understand your roles, what you're going for, because you don't want to build, if you're in the perfect case scenario, you're going to get together with friends and make a team, and you guys are going to generally be able to cover a lot of things, but you're going to have guys doing primary roles. Like one guy who's like the elite specialist hunter, one guy who is really good at crowd control, and you kind of switch to your little thing. Like in this build I was doing, I'm fucking around with a laser pistol right now, but the build that I was primarily doing, and I'm still working on leveling a good shotgun. This one's okay-ish, but it's not great. This build worked pretty well on everything, except, these guys. It's not bad. Reload's really slow. Man, you can't knock this guy down. Ooh, light your ass on fire. As you can see, it does not do a lot of damage. So when you get stuck in Crusher Corner and there's like 6 of these guys out, and all you got is a shotgun and the saber, yeah, you have a bad time. Even with like damage here. Oh, this isn't too bad, but still, imagine how you killed one. Now you've got what, 3 more? You got to kite them around the map and hoping the dog doesn't get you, or one of these other things. That's the other thing. Yeah, knowing your role, knowing what you're supposed to do, knowing your team, because if you have a group of friends and they're still getting up, maybe they aren't that good at picking up specials because you're relying on other guys to also pick up the slack. Maybe they're not good at picking up specials or doing the aspects or doing something. So you kind of want to shore up your things. There's a lot of resources online on different specs, talent trees, analysis, which weapons suck, which weapons are good, which ones are, fairly situational. Timing's a big thing too, like when to use your grenades, when not to do it, when not to burn ammo. You should be using melee as much as possible to conserve ammo on higher difficulty runs. So they give you less shit. So if you're that big-ass Sovereign that likes to run through the missions and just blow through ammo all the time, because you're like, but my DPS is so good, I should get all the ammo, so I'm going to blow through it for everything, because I hate using the shovel or whatever, you're wrong. You need to get good and work on combat. So combat, for a lot of things, there's a flow to it. You don't want to be like, here. You don't want to be like, oh, you can't get in the middle of these guys. Okay, so let's see. Why don't I try killing this guy? So you don't want to be in the middle surrounded by a bunch of dudes, because then you have a hard time dodging. And if you are cornered, you can't, even if you do it, it's really hard to dodge. Like, let's see. We'll use an example. Use this pillar. I'll try to left dodge. Nope. Nothing. Does not work, because you have to still be able to move to do it. And if you don't clip through mobs, so yeah, you're stuck there. You want to do kind of a flow thing. So I usually do, there's better pro ways of doing this, but if you're like basic noob combat with hordes, it's confusing. You want to kind of skim outside, because their windup is like, it takes a bit, so if you're constantly moving, they are going to miss you. And then you kind of interspeed some dodges in there. And then every few attacks, I will block and do like a block push especially. And the block push is pretty good. The other thing you can do for hordes, if you're just working your way through, you can do, yeah, sideways swings. All these weapons kind of have these. Like, overhead chop, single thing, sideways swings. I'd go in here and learn your weapon combos to figure out in close combat. But yeah, you do this, you kind of skim outside the group, and you go back and forth, and like kind of block, whack, whack, block. Get some like kind of basic like boxing style combos, like down and do it. Unless you're fighting like very specific guys, like timing, like these guys, I'll like, they'll queue up when they're going to come up and whack you, and you can like block, push them back, stab them, and then like dodge jump back and before they get a hit on you. The easiest guys to really fight in combat, if you're doing it, is probably these guys and these guys, because they telegraph so hard. If they do the overhead chop, you can't really block it fully. That's a whoop, jump back. And they'll finish up the swing in front of you. These guys have a little bit of a like AoE shake the floor thing, which damages you a little bit, but yeah. These guys are annoying if you don't have like the power maul or the hammer or the power sword or something, because they're pretty good at squaring up with you and staying in there if you're the only one doing it. If you can tank it while your buddies are shooting it in the ass, that's good. That's one of the things. Zealot is actually pretty good at tanking if you do it right. If your guys stay around and give you the toughness boost and all this other stuff, it's not bad. But just about anybody, if they do it right with the right dodges and stuff, can tank just about anything within reason. Even the Daemon Host. The Daemon Host actually has a flow to it. So if you just, like, dodge move the Daemon, you have to kind of do it in like a circle, and you like occasionally push it back. You could dodge move the Daemon Host in a circle and just tank him for like a while, and if your guys are on point, they'll shoot him. Oh, that brings up another point. Weak points. So Daemon Hosts have the stupidest weak point in the game. It's the chaos symbol on the top of their head. If you can beeline on that, they take a ton of damage, usually with like a melee weapon or like a sniper scope. You can hit them right in the forehead, which is really hard to do. On that chaos symbol, you're good. But I would understand all the weaknesses, because some of them have tricky weaknesses. I'm going to switch to a weapon to make a point here. So let's see, something that's not going to just like beefcake 9,000. We'll do this last pistol again. Because I got a couple different things I've been dicking with, none of which are optimal. So, alright. Like these guys that are naked, like headshots do matter. Alright, so shot the guy most in the head. Let's watch him back. When you shoot him, it's like 185, 185. I have a thing that lights people on fire. And then it's like, boom. You have a higher crit rate in the head. These guys, see how it says flak armored? Flak armored. Let's do somebody who's a mix. So, I'll give you an example. This guy. Alright, so shoot him in the head. Carapace armor is the most heaviest armor. Now it's saying flak armor because he's on fire. Yeah, but I shoot him in the head, carapace armor. Now, boom, his chest is actually flak armored. So if you see I'm doing 303, but I'm only doing like 71 in his head, his chest is actually flak armored. Even though, looking at it, it looks like carapace armor to me. But, yeah, you shoot this guy in the head. These guys, or not in the head, the chest. These guys, you shoot in the head because they're carapace armored here, but not in the face. These guys are fucked. I don't know what the weakness is. Let's see. Carapace armor. You just waste all your ammo on them until they die. What about that squad? Okay, that still works. Yeah, the zealot power does help you when you shoot. It's not as good as it used to be. Where it gives you like super pen and crit, but it's not bad. Yeah, knowing all these different guys' weak spots, like this guy, all his naked bits. The unyielding is one where it's like one of the types. But yeah, he's got carapace armor on the vambrace and his shield and all that. And these guys, they have the fucking Thug Goth Club chainmail shirt, but you can still shoot them in the head. They got a big fat head, and they do not like it when you shoot them in the face with the shotgun. These guys, gas mask face, they go down pretty quick. Head. Oh, by the way, this is a woman. No, man, you cannot fix her. These guys, I think it's the head, but his head is so small that it's really hard to hit him. When you're fighting them. If there's a different, better spot, let me know, but I think it is the head. But yeah, pressing on these guys and like being like, okay, because right now I've set it to damnation, so. Understanding when to time your specials, or your special blows, one of specials, it's like, doing this spot. Going there, and like for the veteran, they got the one that's like marks all the targets. Well, it depends on your talent trees, but knowing when to time these things is something you pick up and learn over time. Oh, target priority. So they have a tier system of who the fuck do you kill at higher difficulties. On lower difficulties, they teach you bad because a lot of times you ignore gunners and especially these cocksuckers. Yeah, that is a mistake, because at later difficulty, you do kind of want to take these guys out as well as you can, because they will just, like, fucking own you. Just about everybody's dangerous, but the big ones are snipers. Snipers you want to take out, because they will just destroy a team. Bombers will split a team and do a ton of damage, and that is pretty bad. You want to take them out too. And trappers and dogs are bad. Trappers, if they trap everybody, or you get like 2 people down in the middle of a big thing, that can be a wipe. Same with the dog. The dog gets some people down, and you're just stuck. And then the trapper comes in and traps somebody else. That could be a wipe. So you really want to take the trappers. The sniper does, especially on like Damnation, where you can pretty much like nearly one-shot you. And the bomber, who with the fire damage is really insane at higher difficulties. That makes these guys a little bit more dangerous. The flamers, but they're pretty easy to do. They're annoying, but they're not like that. The guys who are kind of... Why don't we do the guys that are not that crazy? These ragers are pretty easy to kill. They do a lot of damage if you're not prepared and they sneak up on you, but they're pretty easy. Even these guys aren't too bad. These guys suck. You can kill them pretty easily, as some of these guys. The shotgunners are not impressive. I don't think I've ever been killed by one. This guy falls under the same machine gunner thing, where you do kind of want to make them priority, so like medium to medium high priority, because they will suppress your team and cause a lot of problems. These guys are annoying in a group, but they're, I'd say, medium priority. They can slow you down, but if you're teamed up together and one guy gets the aggro and just kind of like gets them to chase them. The other guys just shoot them in the ass. You take them down. These gunners at higher difficulty will, if there's a bunch of them, if you get like the spawn where there's like 6 or 7 or 9 of them or whatever, they will ruin your day. So you do want to put them some kind of priority. These guys suck. They never charge at you really until they get really close, and they just run at you, and they telegraph a lot. They're not anything. And then these guys are deceptive. There's a meme about these guys, especially these guys, where you're like, oh no, they're just regular infantry, we don't have to worry about them, and there's like 20 of them, and they're all shooting lasers at you, and they just whittle you down until you die. You do want to prune these guys down as much as you can. The rest of these guys, meh. Nothing too exciting. So yeah, to recap, the big ones are Sniper, get them down as quickly as possible. Trapper, oh, I'm out of ammo. Die! Trapper and Bomber, like the really big ones. And then the dog probably, because like the dog packs will fuck you up, so you, there's not really a good way to show how to do it. Dogs are fairly easy to get down in the system. You like block push. And if you do it right, sometimes all you have to do is block, but I do like a block like left or block right dodge. And do like a block push, and you will push them off if you time it right. It kind of works like that with the mutant. He's a little bit harder to time now. He used to be way easier, but they sped him up slightly. But yeah, you can do that same thing with him too. But when there's a whole pack of these guys, that's usually when it's time to drop grenade. And blow them all up. Oh, grenades. That's the other thing. Grenades will... grenades will bounce off of teammates, and the big one is the Ogren. So if like you're getting ready to toss if you don't communicate to your Ogren and you're getting ready to toss a grenade, and he rushes on in right as you toss it, and it just fucking bounces off the back of his head and lands at your feet, it's like, oh man. As far as I know, grenades don't friendly fire. As far as I know. My own don't friendly fire. I don't have a companion to come in here and have him just drop a grenade. I don't think you can have companions in here. I'm not sure. There used to be in the beta a system in here where you could have a bunch of dudes spawn and attack you, but I don't. Yeah, I think you have to do like a custom game or something to do that now. But yeah, those are some kind of basic tips. Knowing the level layout is really important. Knowing when to, like, watching your allies' health bars. Like, if there's a lot of corruption, knowing when to tag them with the green med stem. If you're the ogre, okay, so the ogre gets the one bomb that does a fuckload of damage, but you only get the one grenade. That does not make you grenade priority. You save that for, because it's overkill for everything else. You save that for like bosses or like really fun. Like if you get a shitload of crushers, then sure, do it, because the AoE on it is the exact same as like regular grenades, and you will just own just about everything else. And you know what else owns about everything else? Regular grenades. So you're just killing everybody else's tactical versatility if you just insist on like, well, I got the grenade spec, so I'm just gonna keep stealing it. Okay, yeah, you suck. No, I'm not. I'm not bitter. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, knowing the time and knowing when to put the med kit down and the ammo kits and everything is important. Watching everybody's stuff and clearly communicating when you do it. 'Cause some people won't pay attention to the group chat, which is unfortunate, or they won't pay attention to the ground mark cues. Oh, marking targets. They used to have it where you could put your mark to, so you could go into key bindings and you could take mark target. Where's my fucking mark target? Oh, tag. You could do tag, and you could bind it also to a movement key. And so when you move toward an enemy that you had in your crosshairs, it would automatically tag them. And I think they got rid of that, because I tried doing it recently, and I tried doing a few other things, and you can't seem to do it anymore. So yeah, being able to tag. I've noticed a lot of people don't do this anymore. This is actually important. because sometimes these motherfuckers get away, or people don't see them. Being able to tag the ground with the various marks. What did I do with my various thing? What was the button? Damn it. Being able to tag the ground with various things like go here and all that is also very important, so that you can mark. There it goes. Okay, yep. Let's go here. You know, fucking end over there. Need healing. Does this not do anything anymore? Oh, that's right. It only does it if you're on a team. Haha. Yeah, because you shout into like chat or something, scout that area. All right. So yeah, being able to tag all these things is fairly important, and knowing when to do it, because communication is really key to get this to work right, and it's already fairly hectic. The power slide is actually a pretty good dodge. There's actually is an achievement for like dodging under attacks and bullets. And, oh, well, that didn't work well. And all that with the power slide. Then understanding your enemy's attack combos. I know it's hard to do when you're just swamped by dudes. It's really hard to do, but you'll start being able to pick them out in a crowd based off of their silhouette and icon, and like be able to block, dodge, and like do the various things. And a lot of their overhead attacks like this, a lot of times you can't block it. Some of them you can, but a lot of times you can't. And understand when to do it, and you can pretty much tag a lot of these guys from pretty far distance. Like let's see here. We'll do a gun that has a really short range. We'll do. That's right. They did kind of nerf this. Let's do. I'll see if I can tag this sniper from way over here. So from here, blam. See, half of his health from all the way over here, and he's staggered, which is good. That means he's not taking a shot, so that's better than nothing. So you can tag him pretty far off, and that at least keeps them from shooting somebody, especially if you mark it and then shoot them. And
it's a trap.
Let's see here. That's probably where they let me go. Yeah, you're not doing a lot of ton of damage, but if you notice, he's falling over. And then knowing what your secondary thing is important. Like, alright, the secondary ability, if you, like this one, you load in an extra shell, you hit this guy, and it's fire. And it's good, like, it's burning them, but it's not, it does a dot, which isn't bad against some bosses, but it's not incredible. Against hordes, like, you knock them down, you start burning them down pretty quick, especially if you get them close together. Understanding, like, with this one here, if you're aiming with the shotgun, you do a narrow spread. If you're hip firing, you do a pretty wide spread. Understanding how that works with each of your weapons sub-ability types is important. Let's see, let's switch over to this one here right quick. So, this one's kind of funny because it's like, you can just rapid fire off the hip. You can do a gangster style, aim for different points. It has a lot of ammo, but shooting in the back. And shooting in the back does matter too, because there's a bunch of abilities like, let's see, here's an example. This one I'm working on respecking, but because this trait kind of sucks if you think about it, is raking fire. You have 40% damage when shooting enemies in the back, but if you're doing some builds, it's probably good. The build I was going for is not particularly great. And there's almost no recoil on this, which makes aiming really sweet. But this secondary ability for this, poke them in the eyes, poke them in the eyes, poke them in the eyes. It's not very good. Like, get the fuck back. Ah. Fuck you. Fuck you. It's pretty lame. So some of them have kind of cool abilities. Like, this one does like a weird ricochet cut, where it's like, wah, wah, which is kind of cool for the secondary. It's like a fencing like twist. It does take a fair bit of stamina. But then you get something like the bolt gun. The bolt gun's an interesting example of learning your weapon because The bolt gun has the weird, like, I'm going to hit him with my magazine. And in real life, you do not smack the enemy with the magazine of your gun. You just don't do that. That's a dumb idea because you're going to, like, mess your gun up. But it's a bolt gun, so it's probably fine. But then this one, it's like, knowing this, it's like rapid fire where you use a bunch of rounds where it's a hip. And this, you see the icon on it, it's 3 single, 3 single. Now, let's see if this, oh, now it kind of works. You see the kick on it? Now, let's see if I can get it to trigger. There's a bug on this thing. Oh, it actually is working okay, right? So when you move and fire with this thing, sometimes it will kick. This is part of learning how to rub it. It'll kick before your, yeah, see, it kind of did it there. It'll kick before you actually pull the trigger, which is really annoying. It's like before the weapon fires out, it starts doing it. So, and the aim is slightly off if you're aiming down the sights and you fire at it. You get used to it. Like, I'm kind of compensating for it. I'm aiming a little high. Yeah, see that? I'm kind of compensating for it a little bit, but yeah, it does funny things sometimes with the built recoil. And then the other part of learning it is reload animation, or weapon switching. Whoa. Weapon switching. Whoa. That's painful, especially if you come across one of these guys and you're like, all right, I'm gonna switch weapon. Okay. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, look how long it takes to reload it. Anytime you get hit, it's hard to do in this. Anytime you get hit, it like resets your reload. So, anyway, I've talked at length about different things you can do. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. You don't, like, there's a difference between speed running something and doing it at a reasonable pace. You don't want to go so fast that you're so far ahead of everybody. Because, oh yeah, that's the other, probably one of the more important parts is coherency. Meaning squad coherency, especially at higher difficulties, is really important. Really important. Because that's how you get all your toughness regen. That's how you get all your other regens. That is really important. And your allies can assist you. They don't have to go too far and everything like that. So you have a much higher chance of surviving. And I know a lot of people are like, well, I want all these awards. It's like, well, then communicate that to your team ahead of time. Maybe go off like a tiny bit, but generally you don't want to go off too far because otherwise you're going to get jumped by the dog and die. And they're just going to laugh at you. Yeah, squad coherency is very important. Knowing all your guns and rolls and stuff are very important. Higher difficulties and not moving at such a fast pace where you find yourself so far ahead of everybody that everybody else is way behind because they're either stuck fighting a horde or they're dealing with somebody that got knocked down or something's happening. So you kind of want to move it along quickly. You don't want to go slow because otherwise things just take forever. And a lot of the events, like, they have trigger mechanics, and if you don't complete it, the event doesn't end. So it keeps spawning guys over and over and over again. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. So I hope that helps somebody. So, yep, hope that helps somebody.